My name is Petrilli, and I am here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode. But today's episode is pre-recorded for a very special reason. I have the absolute honor of subbing in for my friend Gretchen Men in Zepparella. So if you are in Anchorage, Alaska, today is February 3rd, 2024. If you are there, we are going to be playing some shows. So since I am playing some shows in a very cold place, I figured why not teach a song with a very cold month. Generally, for the U.S., it's a very cold month for us. So we're going to be learning December by Collective Soul. Very fun song, definitely geared towards the intermediates, I would say. If you have an electric guitar or an acoustic guitar, either one will work. As long as it is in standard tuning, you are good to go. And as always, if you guys are enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. It absolutely helps the cause. And before we get started, you guys know I like to ask a question. So let me know where you are tuning in from and a song with a month of the year in the title. So that's what I want to know. That is today's question of the day. So it is good stuff indeed. So get your guitar in standard tuning. This one's going to be a lot of fun. So here we go. Here is December by Collective Soul. Covering a ton of ground with that intro. We'll also look at the electric riffs that are in there, as well as the chorus that we see strummed. Same chords, we're going to strum them out, the chorus. Okay, so we'll be going over all of those parts today. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's look at the top. So again, as I mentioned, with this intro, it covers the verses and a lot of the song. So we're covering a ton of ground with this today. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and look at the top. I'm going to play it just a bit slower because, as I say in these lessons, we can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. So here we go. Here is that intro done slowly, painfully slow, because we can't learn anything fast that we can't play slow. All right, so here we go. So that is the intro. Now, I've got, as far as the amp goes, I've got some slight tremolo here. If you listen to the original track, you will hear that there is quite a bit of tremolo. So I want you guys to still hear the notes, but I still want to, tip the hat to the beautiful tremolo that's on the tune. All right. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start off with a G chord. And how I want you to play that G chord, I want your second finger on the third fret of the E string and your third finger on the third fret of the B string, your fourth finger on the third fret, the high E string. So this is going to be our G chord, just like that with that muted A string. Okay? So what's happening here, and I want you to keep this in mind, and if you notice in the intro, you'll see what I mean here. This third and fourth finger, consider it our pivot point, okay, for this entire intro. We are not going to lift them up. Okay, so keep that in mind as we're learning this. It's going to make it a lot easier. So let's go ahead and get started with the G chord. Now, we're going to strike the E string. From there, open G string to B string, back to the G string. We're going to break this up into two parts. Okay, so those first four notes sound like this. Go ahead and play them along with me. Again, I'm doing alternate picking here with the pick. If you prefer to play with hybrid picking, I would say, at least for me, what I would like to do is strike, whenever we hit the high E string, you would strike upwards with that second finger. If you're just going to keep it to alternate picking with the pick, make sure you're striking upward on your way back with the B and the G string. So those are the first four notes. And let's look at the other four. So the other four, we're going to start with the B string, high E string, back to the B string, And to end the phrase, open G. So just like that. So the second half sounds like this. Let's go ahead and do that again. Okay, nice and slow. All right, let's do that one more time, then we'll combine it. Now, let's go ahead and combine it with the first phrase. Why I'm really taking my time here is this picking pattern is going to cover a ton of ground. All right, we're going to be using it in the next 3 chords that we see. Okay, so the G over F, and the C add 9 all use this same picking pattern. Okay, so here we go from the top. This is for our G chord. Do that again. Okay, very good. Let me know how everybody's doing in the comments too, all right? It's a nice community we've built here. Everybody encourages one another, so don't be shy. And again. One more time. Pick up the speed a little bit. So that's for that G chord, all right? So what we're going to do next, play the G over F. As I mentioned at the top, this 3rd and 4th finger, they're going to be our pivots. Don't move them, okay? Leave them there. We're going to get our 1st finger here, lifting the 2nd finger out of the way. 1st finger on the 1st fret of the low E string, that's going to be our F note. So all we're going to do that was different, okay? We're just going to strike this F note first, this bottom half here. We're going to play it exactly the same. So that's going to sound like this. See how it's the same, except we have an F here? That's all that's different, okay? So let's work on that F here. And notice you cannot see my thumb. I'm placing it in the back of the neck. You can barely see it right there, okay? At least the bottom half of it here. I am keeping it in the back of the neck. This allows my hands and my fingers to stretch, okay? The second you put your thumb up here, especially with the chord stretch like that, your hand's just gonna shrivel up, and that we do not want, okay? So let's go ahead and go from G to the G over F, okay? So here we go, nice and slowly here, folks. Now to F. Just like that. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Here we go. Like that. Now let's go ahead and go to C add 9. Same picking pattern, but we're changing the bass note. We're going to play a C this time. So place the 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the A string. That's our C note. Okay? So we strike C, and then we continue forward as we did earlier. So here we go. So here's C. And then our picking phrase. Let's go ahead and do that again. Now with the C in the bass. One more time, and then we'll combine it with the other 2 chords. So just like that. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. G to G over F to C. Here we go. One more time. Here we go. Like that, okay? Let me know how everyone's doing. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Click that like button. It helps with the algorithm. And if you want to check out the awesome Fishman Fluence pickups that I'm using in today's lesson, link is in the video description below. All right, so let's go to the final part of this intro verse concoction we have here. All right, so what we're gonna do, remember, we're keeping these pivot points as they are, right? Third finger on the third fret of the B string, that's our D note, and then your fourth finger on the third fret of the high E string, which is a G. Okay, so from there, we're gonna get our first finger now playing the B flat, first fret of the A string. Okay, how we are going to play this 4-note phrase, B flat, open G string, B string, which is our D note, back to the open G string. Without the commentary, that sounds like this. I'll do that again nice and slowly. Now, the next 4-note phrase, we're going to keep that B flat right there, okay, first fret of the A string, but we're only going to play B flat and G. Then we're going to move that first finger up or use your second finger, whatever feels more natural to you. I like to use my first finger, so we're going to hit that B note and then the open G string. So we have B flat, G, and then B to G. And then we continue forward. So that's what encloses the circle, is that section. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play just that section. Okay? And then we'll complete it all. Okay, so here we go. Again. And one more time. Now, let's go ahead and play the whole thing, shall we? You can do this. We're going to play it slow. We will build up speed, all right? So here we go from the top. G. F. C. G over B flat. Repeat. So that right there, I'd say, is like 75% of the song done. All right, so that works as our intro, that works as our verse. So that intro happens twice, and then through the verses, that's gonna happen 4 times. Now, the chorus, same exact chords, but what we're gonna do here, just kind of lift the dynamics a little bit, especially if we're playing this as one guitarist, we're gonna play these same exact chords, but we're gonna strum them. So that's gonna sound like this. So notice, same hand positions, same chords. We're just gonna strum it out, all right? So what we're going to do here is we're going to strike the bass note first. So we're going to strike that G note. So like 2 downstrokes, G, down, down, up, down, up. And then we go to F, bass note. Now keep in mind, I am muting the A string, and the D string is going to be open. So that A string, keep it muted, totally fine. So let's go ahead and do just the G to the F. From there, go ahead and go to that C, so hit the C note. Okay, so just like that. Let's do those 3 together. G, F, C. From there, we're going to go to that B flat, hit the B flat note, down, down, up. Then we go to that B, down, up, down, up. Faster. Cool song. I just love it. So what I'm going to do here, just to give you context, I will go ahead and play just like a verse. So I'll play that part twice, and then I'll go into the chorus, and you can see how the dynamics really lift. Now, if you're playing with 2 guitar players, someone would keep that going, all right? Or even just kind of do a cool thing with the bass notes. You can do that too. And while someone else strums. So again, there's a lot of beautiful guitar textures in this song. It's just awesome. So again, for context, I'll do 2 verses, and then I'll do a run through of 2 choruses strummed, okay? And again, if you're enjoying the lessons, don't forget to click that like button, subscribe to the channel. It really does help the cause with the algorithm, all right? And if you're enjoying how these pickups are sounding, link is in the video description below. All right, so here we go. Song to play. This is great. So those are the parts there. So you can go ahead and strum out those choruses. To me, also too, it sounds like there's another guitar part that's kind of going. And again, you can add that in if you'd like. So it's kind of like a bass part. So what I would do there is you're literally just following the bass notes that are in those chords. So you would hit a G note, and then to an F, and then to a C, and then to that B flat, and then to that B. Now, I'm slightly palm muting this, so all that means is if you have like a Strat style guitar here, I'm just putting my hand, this part of my hand here, okay, in between. Okay, so this bridge and then the bridge pickup. So it sounds like that. So when you articulate the notes, has a thuddier sound versus if I did not do that. See what I mean? So it depends on how you want it to sound. I kind of like the roundedness of the palm muting. So F, C, B flat, to the B. And again, the timing is probably a little bit different, but again, just feeling out the pocket when you're playing with folks and other musicians is always a good move, all right? So that's what's happening there. So for the last 10 minutes of the lesson, what I'd like to do is look over the electric riff that is happening over the same exact part, G to that G over F, to C, to B flat, to B, G over B, okay? So what's happening here, it's again, just really, really tasteful playing, really melodic playing, which I just absolutely love, okay? So that's gonna sound like this. It's a great little line. I'll do that again. Super fun. So let me show you how to play it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get these first two fingers. We're going to be playing a dyad, which is based around the G chord, which makes sense because we're playing over a G chord, right? So you're going to get your first finger here, 7th fret of the G strings. That's going to be a D note, D as in dog. And then you're going to get this second finger here, placing that on the G note, 8th fret of the B string. You're going to strike this 3 times. Then you're going to get your 4th finger reaching, okay, to the 10th fret of the B string, which is an A note. Now, notice how I'm still playing this D note here and the A note together. Or I'm sorry, there it is. Yeah. And then we lift it back. So it's going to sound like this. It sounds like there's an open G string to me. So that would sound like this. Just kind of cool. And you can just lift up your first finger to make that happen. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that again. To play the part that's being played over G over F, what we're doing here is we're going to move this back a whole step. So that there is a dyad of an F chord. So we've got the C note here on the 5th fret of the G string, and then we have our F note here on the 6th fret of the B string. So if we played an F chord, see what I mean? It's kind of cool. And we're going to do the same sort of pattern. Play this 3 times. Moving that pinky finger, okay, now to the 8th fret of the B string, which is a G note. Playing that dyad once. Going back to that F dyad, okay, 5th fret, 6th fret. And then, again, it sounds like it's an open D string to me. You could probably do the open G as well. Or the D. Or that D note. It really depends. To me, it sounds like it might be a D note. Okay, so here's the whole thing. To F. Okay. The G or the D note, both kind of work, okay? So, and if you wanted to palm mute it, even better. Great line, okay? So from there, we're gonna do a diet of C. So lucky for us, it's in a very convenient spot. So it's already where our first finger is. All we're gonna do is lay it flat. Now, here's how I think it's done. Getting our first finger flat on the 5th fret of the D string, G string, and B string. Okay, so it should sound like this. Okay, so that would be a full triad of C major, so C, E, and G. So this note here is G, that note, or the 5th fret of the D string is G, 5th fret of the G string is C, and then you have E, 5th fret of the B string. So what's happening here is you're only going to strike 3 times the 5th fret of the G string and the B string. Okay, so we have just that C and E that we're playing. But keep this first finger covering that G note, because I think we're going to use it in a sec. From there, you're going to get your 3rd finger, placing that on the 7th fret of the G string. Cool dissonant sound, isn't it? I just love it. So you're playing the 7th fret of the G string and the 5th fret of the B string. Okay? We're playing a D and an E note together. Okay? But it adds just such a beautiful, just like sour note. I just love it. So we've got... We go back to the 5th fret of the G string and B string, and then 5th fret of the D string, G note. So that whole thing sounds like this without all the commentary. Okay, so here we go. Palm muted, it would sound like this. Such a great, so much groove, I just love it. All right, so here we go. So the G to the F to the C sounds like this. I'll play it slowly. Again. A little bit faster. So cool. This is so fun to play. Let's do that again. And I'm playing with the volume a little bit too. It sounds a little low, but man, it's just like, oh, just the texture of it's great. So finally, we're gonna go to the B flat. So first finger, okay, across a 3rd fret of the D string, G string, and B string. There's our B flat triad, gotta love that. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing here. 3rd fret of the G string and B string, only play those notes. If you want to know what notes those are, it's B flat and D. But keeping that first finger, okay, on the 3rd fret of that D string too. What's going to be different there? You can use your 3rd or 4th finger, okay? We're going to strike this 3 times. 3rd or 4th finger, place that on the 5th fret of the G string. That is a C note. Strike this 2 times. So again, we have that dissonance of D and C together. And then ending the phrase with the open G string. Okay, so it sounds like this. Just like that. So let's go ahead and play that again, and then we are done, folks. This has been such a blast. Here we go. Such a fun riff. All right, folks, I hope you had a blast learning that one. Can you tell I enjoyed teaching that one today? Such a fun song. My 90s band covers this song, so I just love playing this one. Again, want to thank all of you. Thank you so much for making the riff rundowns what they are. And again, want to thank my friends at Fishman. As always, wishing you so much success in your musical journeys. Make a lot of music this weekend. And